All right, here's your 4.0A.1 and 4.0A.2 Operations and Algebra practice test on McCain4th.com. Please hit pause on this if I'm going too fast and you need to stop and fix something, redo something, things like that. Also, if you want to just move ahead, you can always use the bottom scroll bar on the computer or iPad or tablet and skip ahead if you need to. All right, so I'm going to go sort of fast, so like I said, pause if you need to. This first section is pages 1 and 2 in your math notebook. Write the matching equation to each math sentence. So we know to circle the hints and put what they mean, multiplied by, equal to, and then we're just copying it exactly. So 4 multiplied by 8 is equal to 32. The product of 9 and 10 is, we know product of means multiply, is means equal, and this is that sort of star one in your math notebook. We know that we can't do times 9, 10, so it's the product of 9 and 10 is 80. We have 63 is, 7 times as many as, equals and times. So we have 63 is 7 times as many as 9. Okay, see how it matches in that order. We have 4 groups of 5 is equal to, so we have 4 groups of 5 is equal to 20. And then 56 is equal to times as many as, put our hints above, 56 is equal to 8 times as many as 7. All right, on to the next section. Underline important info. Write an equation, equal sign, and write a complete sentence. These are actually going to be a point each on your test. So writing an equation, having a correct response, and writing a complete sentence. All right, so here we go. Who ate 4 times? Hutch ate 4 times more than Pete. As soon as we see 4 times, we write 4x. Pete ate 3 cupcakes. How many cupcakes for Hutch? Okay. After we underline and do our how many times, and notice that, we create our equation, fill in the blank equation. Blank times blank equals blank. We always are going to draw our arrow because how many times always goes first. 4 times, 4 times. Now we're going to go ahead and label. So who is 4 times? Hutch is 4 times. It's Hutch versus Pete. And then Hutch's real number, because 4x isn't a real number, Hutch's real number goes here. Now we ask, what do we know, Pete or Hutch? And I can see right here, when I read, Pete ate 3 cupcakes. And this is one where we can just answer it. Tree times door, elf 12. Circle the thing I don't know, or the answer. How many cupcakes did Hutch eat? Hutch ate 12 cupcakes. Yummy. That's a lot, and I'm stuffed. All right, on to the next. Underline important info. Wismer, 7 times as many as Miller. Wismer, 21 mice. How many mice? Miller. Okay. All right, so right away we notice, oh, it says 7 times. I'm going to put 7x, and we're going to create our equation. How many times blank equals blank? Draw the arrow because how many times always goes first. Label now who is 7 times, and it says Wismer has 7 times. So here's Wismer versus Miller, and Wismer's real number goes right here, okay? Because 7 times isn't a real number. All right, now, what do we know? Miller or Wismer? Here's the other number. Wismer has 21 mice, so we're going to put a 21 right here. This is the thing we don't know. So you can either think and say 7 times what equals Denti Sun 21, or we can do the inverse operation of the multiplication. So that's 21 divided by 7 equals on a calculator. But we know surf and times tree is Denti Sun 21. So now we answer the question. How many mice does Mrs. Miller have? Miller has 3 mice. Period. Okay. All right, on to the back. Getz ran 24 miles. So who ran 24 miles? Campbell ran 3 miles. How many times more miles Getz than or versus Campbell? All right, so right here I see is where it says how many times more. So question mark X, because I don't know how many. Let's do our equation. How many times blank equals blank. And same thing as before, how many times always goes first. Okay. All right, now we can go ahead and label how many times more miles did Getz. So we know Getz is going to go here, but there's also another way to know. We can just put in our other numbers. And 24 goes here because it's the biggest, because something times 24 doesn't make sense to equal 3 at this point in our learning. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and label. So Campbell is 3 miles, so I'm going to put a C. Getz is 24 miles, so that's a G. And I know it's Campbell versus Getz. Okay? And now we circle the thing we don't know. I circle the times also because it means how many times. And let's go ahead and solve. So what times tree equals empty floor 24? And I know that's 8. Or we know that we could do the inverse operation to find a missing number. So now we can answer it, but remember, how many times more miles did Getz run? Getz ran 8 times more miles. 8x more miles than Campbell. Period. Okay? So make sure your answer, if it says how many times, says this many times. All right, and last one. Mr. Hutch's first group gave 5 times more than second group. First group gave 45. How many snacks? Second group. All right, so same things as normal. Look for your times. So here's 5x. Create your equation. And how many times always goes first. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and label. So who is 5 times? The first group. And that's obviously versus the second group, because we can see right here. And first group's real number goes here. Now we go ahead and ask ourselves, what do we know, the second group or the first group? So let's find our other numbers. Here's 45 snacks, and we have to go back and read. Gave him, oh, right up here, his first group gave him 45 snacks. So there's the first group, and here's what I don't know. Okay, so same steps as before. Ask ourselves 5 times what equals 45. So I either know that or I can count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 type of thing. Or we can do the inverse operation on a calculator. Okay, so we know 5 times 9 is 1 less, 45. And now we can answer the question. How many snacks did his second group give him? And I can see it right here. His second group, oh, let's pause, because you need this secret word. Let's make it be salt. Why not? Write it in there. Here's your proof that you watched this. All right, and back up to here. His second group gave him 9 snacks. All right, if you have any questions, let me know right away.